Senator, for a round of questions.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My first question is for Mr. Altenberg. What does a digital asset mining operation look like? I mean, are there shovels digging in the ground? What does it look like?
It depends where the location. Though the mining sites that are being placed at our fracked gas wells, they're essentially semi-trailers that have methane gas-powered generators that are plugged into the well and big shipping containers full of racks of Bitcoin miners.
Okay, and a Bitcoin miner is actually a computer.
Yeah, it's about the size of a toaster, and it uses 3 times the energy of a house.
Okay, so there is a bunch of toasters in a line. Sometimes they're dipped in fluids, so they run cooler. They can be air-cooled, they can be water-cooled, but it's basically just a computer.
Yes.
So is that computer that's mining Bitcoin directly emitting pollutants?
No, it's energy source. It's electric source is what's emitting.
Okay. So now let's take an EV charging station. If that EV charging station is powered by electricity from natural gas or coal, shouldn't it also have the same monitoring that is being requested by this bill?
I think the issue is looking at how efficiency is measured. It's all sources of electricity, whether it's the lights or the speaker system here, are going to use electricity and produce a certain amount of work for that electricity. The issue with Bitcoin and proof of work cryptocurrency is the work that we are doing is not actually necessary to have cryptocurrency or to have blockchain technology.
Okay, let's talk about gold. Where does gold come from?
It's mined.
It's mined, okay. Is energy expended in producing gold?
Yes.
Okay. Is gold absolutely essential?
For certain technologies, it is.
Is it Congress's job to decide whether an energy use is worthwhile or not? I mean, surely you've heard that Bitcoin is digital gold because it is limited to 21 million Bitcoin ever to be mined. It is permissionless, which means you don't have to rely on a third party, a trusted third party, to do transactions in it or to hold it. It is a store of value, and that is commonly agreed to. Okay, so you've got gold, it's a store of value. You've got Bitcoin, it's a store of value. They both consume energy to produce. Now, is it Congress's role to say gold is a more worthwhile use of energy than Bitcoin?
There is a long history of that very thing. We have energy efficiency standards for appliances. We've got CAFE standards for vehicles. And for most air pollution, for most new air pollution sources, there's legal requirements that before they operate, they install the best available technology to reduce the pollution. So we do make those decisions every day.
So we're still mining coal in this country. We're still producing natural gas, and we have the cleanest burning natural gas in probably the world here in the United States, and produce it in the most environmentally sound manner. But it's a hydrocarbon. So if my car is oil consuming or natural gas consuming, is it a less worthy use of energy than energy that comes from coal and natural gas, but is converted to electricity for an EV?
Well, there are using vehicles, using our entire transportation network requires a certain amount of energy, and there are economic benefits that we get from that transportation network.
I have one, and my time's about up, so thank you. I have a question for Ms. Dettlinger. Do you view digital asset mining operations as a negative for the power sector?
I certainly don't speak for the entire power sector, but within the state of Nebraska, we've actually seen benefits. We have not seen the drawbacks that have been mentioned during the hearing today. And most of those have just been managed locally, whether by the municipality, by the county, or by the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy.
If you have a natural gas well and you're venting the natural gas because that well is not hooked up to a gathering line, is it better to vent it into the atmosphere, or is it better to use the energy to produce something of value?
In my opinion, it's much better to actually use the energy and produce something of value.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.